this is Dustin Sherman, and we're back for another episode of Revolution Rising. To my left, we got Casey Pate, one of our co-hosts, and down below me, we got Scott Seddon, one of our other co-hosts, the personalities that bring Revolution Radio to life. Revolution Rising to life, I'm sorry. How's everybody doing today?
Okay. Oh, pretty good. Yeah. The New Year's is what it is.
Yeah, it's definitely started off with a bang. We're losing people like crazy, like gangbusters. We've lost like 5 celebrities, and I've lost a friend up here, and it's just, it's 2023.
Yeah, dude, it's all those white nationalists poisoning the water.
Something. It's all climate change, man. Climate change.
Take your shot.
I need a shot.
It's climate change.
Climate change for sure.
Well, I think they're going to start blaming.
So I hear you got some exciting news. Justin?
Yeah, I'll go into that here in just a bit, but I think we can cover some of the other stuff. I'm kind of thinking about how to process and kind of deliver the news, but
So speaking of the shot, I want, if in case you didn't know, the Pentagon has they're no longer making the troops get the COVID vaccine. This is huge.
Yeah.
So kind of them.
The problem is it's already done too much damage.
Right.
Well,
and we have celebrities dying.
The CDC's also come out and said that now that there's evidence that the vaccines are harming people, they're going to investigate. So there's that.
There is that.
We all kind of knew that was going to happen anyway. We all had our suspicions. This is a lot like the anthrax vaccine debacle that happened with the military. The only thing different was this was nationwide and worldwide. So there was a lot of people that were injured by the anthrax vaccine back in the 90s. So late 80s to early 90s. So it injured a lot of our troops, and I can't believe that the military or the DOD allowed this to be put on our troops. I mean, we are the lowest ready level than we've ever been when it comes to our military, and it sucks.
Well, you can thank Obama for that, because every single federal institution at this point in time has an appointee that is because of Obama, and it's all part of the plan. They're trying to destroy us from within. They know they can't destroy us, and the federal government cannot take on the American people. They would get slaughtered, and they know it. There's no country in this world, and I hear people, our military's decimated, we're going to be invaded by China. China would get decimated if they tried to invade America. How do you take on a giant like America? You attack them from within. That's exactly what's going on.
Even if another country were to come over here and try and invade us and try and do the things that they do, it's not just the military they have to worry about. They got to worry about the millions and billions of people that are armed. Yeah. We are our own largest army in the world.
And stealth at that. Look at all the hunters. That's what they do.
I was going to say,
in stealth mode.
We go out. A lot of us go out and sit in the cold and blind, and we hide. And we've gotten good at it. This country's made some of the best camouflage on the planet. And I wish another country well. Come on over. We need target practice.
All right, we're getting bored.
So, Scott,
it sounded like an open-ended invitation,
right? So
I got a can over here.
We're gonna do things. We're gonna do things a little different tonight. We're gonna each person that's on the show has got a story they're gonna tell, or they're gonna talk about something specific. I'm gonna go last because I think that mine is for mainly the local folks. I made an announcement earlier this week, and I'll go into that whenever it's my turn. But Scott and Casey, I'll let you guys go first. You guys can flip a coin on who's going to go.
Paper, scissors. Go.
All right, so I got cactus. I got catfished.
Tell me about it.
Me. I got catfished. And, everybody that knows me knows I don't date. I spend most all my time, my free time with my kid. I don't date. I haven't dated in years. I don't flirt with a lot of women online. I may tell girls that they look pretty and this and that, but typically I don't take it much further than that. And I don't do that a lot. I may say it once in a while, but I got catfish. So there was this female from Newfoundland. Her name is Sheila E. Hamilton. Check out her profile. And she's actually using the images, the pictures from a model, Anna, out of Holland. She has an Instagram following, and she has a couple different social media platforms that she uses. Anyway, so this girl was acting like she was this girl Anna, and I talked to her for 2 months, and on the phone, everything. We'd spend some nights 2 hours on the phone. Finally, one day, I'm like, Anna, she had all this money, had 3 drilling rigs in the North Atlantic, and and I was like, finally, I was like, Anna, something's not right. I didn't come out and actually say this to her. I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, listen, we need to have a video chat. And after about, say, 4 weeks of me harping on this, finally I gave an ultimatum, and then I was blocked the day that we were supposed to finally have the video chat. So after some investigation through our intel team, NAP, we were able to come up with who she actually is. Actually, we could not pinpoint who she is. We were able to pinpoint whose images she was using. And again, it's this Atlanta. Come to find out, this is a problem that plagues a lot of veterans and a lot of law enforcement officers, because when I started digging and I started making some posts about her being a catfish, I had people reach out to me that were not only catfished by her, but catfished by other women. And another woman that I knew that was on my friends list did the same thing.
Do it too.
Did the same thing to one of my buddies who was a contractor, special forces, and he really fell hard for his catfish. It fucked him up. This kind of stuff, it affects people.
Yeah, they want you to get emotionally invested.
They get emotionally in. Fortunately for me, I just don't give a fuck because I'm an asshole, and it don't matter. So I was able to have fun with her and put her on blast, and we have her on there's a Facebook group specifically for catfishes and not fake profiles. So that's my story. Anybody out there, if you're talking to somebody online, make sure you get a video chat within the next week. If you're getting all lovey-dovey, video chat. Otherwise, it's all shit. If they're going to talk to you every day and they're talking about, man, we need to meet up with each other, get a video chat. That's it. That's my boring story. The one thing that really pissed me off, though, and this is stupid on my part, like I said, I was talking to her for 2 months. After about a month, I had her on speaker, and she talked to my kid. Told my kid she was going to buy her birthday present that falls on Christmas and a Christmas present. So you got to be careful. That's it. That's my story.
Well, you're not the only one that this has happened to, and it's a trending thing. And also look at how we connect with people. I'm here, we're all across the country, and we're having this conversation face to face and sharing it with the nation. But how people interact these days, and you have so many, like you said, veterans and policemen, they steal their profiles and create these fake ones. Even on the dating apps, that seems to be how people do it these days. I kind of refuse, because you get about 3 days of okay looking profiles, and then like a week later it's some scabs. I don't want them to know anything about me.
Well, and here's another thing too that happens, and it happens on every app that's out there: Facebook, Twitter, You know, I mean, you've got bots and stuff out there. You've got.
I'm going to show you. I just want to show you guys something. Just because this goes off what Casey was saying. This right here, I don't know if you can see
We
that.
can't see it.
No, it's too.
Can't see
Oh,
it.
there it goes. Hold on, it's focusing on. Get a little
A little
closer.
bit more.
A little closer. A little closer.
No more. A little bit more.
There you go.
Whoop. Whoop. Out. Just a little bit.
Oh, it's
Back
it's
it
just
up.
it's too blurry.
Back
So
it up like a dump truck.
No. All right, so guys, so these are 4, 5 profiles. I have a stalker on Instagram. She's Mexican. All right, she speaks no English, so she has a translating app. She translates me. She follows me all over the fucking place. She's like, "You're an idiot." She's like, "You have 5 profiles on Instagram of people stealing pictures of you and your daughter." So, and how do we avoid this? I don't know. We're out there so much exposing ourselves by what we do, the movement we're involved in. You know, people try to take advantage. Guess what happened? So I reported this. Instagram said we don't have enough people to even investigate it.
Yep.
But the second I say transgender freak on Facebook, 30 seconds later, I'm in fucking jail.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, you know,
So-
here's the problem. They've got nothing else better to do than you know, screw with people like that. And here's the thing: for every one that they hit up, you know, they may do like say 20 people. For every 20 people that they do, they get 2 people that'll pay them. You know, they'll get your phone number, they'll change your profile, they'll videotape you doing something. You know, if you do a live, one thing that I've heard of, and it's kind of scary, is what they'll do is they'll get some video or something of some girl, and they'll put it up there, and then you like your video talking, but they'll say the microphone don't work or some crap, and so you can't hear any voices. And you know, this has been something that the FBI has been investigating for a while. They'll get you to engage in some kind of like video porn kind of thing, and then they'll blackmail you to get you to pay them. And it's a thing that's been going around the country for a while, and there's just the online stuff is just making it easier and easier and easier to do. And
Crazy.
you know, and that's like marketplace on Facebook, right? So one of the things that's a big thing now, scamming wise, is you'll post something for sale. Someone will contact you. Usually it's a very general message or whatever, but they'll ask for your phone number. Never give your phone number out on Messenger until they do first. And the reason that they do that is because that's how they're going to break into your, that's how they will break into your accounts.
Facebook.
Yep.
Wow, because they asked for your phone number.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know
So,
if anyone,
you know,
go ahead.
oh,
Go ahead.
you know, with giving away the phone number and stuff. My dog passed away, and my mom wanted to get me a puppy for Christmas. Trying to do that transaction, she was asking, "How do I know?" And I gave her the rundown, simple things to look for, you know, because it happens to all of us. I try to vet on all my transactions, you know, check back and see who these people are, even within your own friends in your own community, your own state. There's some fake profiles in there.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I've had one. It's like the same person using the same, or it's different people using the same profile pictures. I've had the same picture send me friend requests probably 300 times under different names, and
That's funny, man. Me too.
I mean,
Check.
it's terrible.
Yeah.
And
Not today, ISIS.
well, exactly. Well, and here's the thing too on Messenger. Like if you're on Facebook Messenger, say if you're selling something and someone's asking for your number, they can call you on Messenger. No information is given out that way. They can call you on Messenger, or they can video chat you on Messenger. And if they won't do that, then it's a scam. So stay away from it. So Casey, tell us a little bit about you. You moved around the state a little bit now, right? You're in a different location.
Yeah, it's kind of on a need to know basis.
Okay.
Just changing it up a little bit.
Stalker.
You're the one with all the stalkers. So Yeah, so one thing is I'm getting back into healthcare, and what I wanted to talk, well, we already did a little bit about the vaccine,
Hmm.
and I've taken a hiatus from my healthcare degrees I was going for and out of the healthcare fields. So now I'm getting back into it. The Pentagon policy that they're enforcing is gonna help. Also, there's a lawsuit with 22 states involved. Last I checked, of November, um, that are taking the forced vaccination to uh, the Supreme Court.
Right.
So 22 states are involved. That is huge because we can't even agree in Congress, you know?
Yeah.
So there's some good work happening
The
back in the
The
States.
Supreme Court, who does fucking nothing for America anymore.
Well,
Fuck
and they,
them.
they don't ever take up the issues that we want them to. That's the
Yeah.
problem. They'll take up all kinds of other stuff like,
Social justice issues and not
yeah.
constitutional issues is the problem.
Right?
Well, they just
Right?
turned down the Brunson case, which, you know, had a lot of merit behind it, and they turned that down. I'm sure it's going to be appealed, but at the same time, the fact that they turned down one of the biggest influential cases in the nation, um, just because they basically didn't want to hear it. I mean, there's a lot of ramifications that could have happened, and they just turned it down. So I imagine that something that big. I mean, it's almost like the Roe versus Wade thing. You've seen, you know, we did have justices and stuff that were getting threatened, and some of them showed up at Brett Kavanaugh's house, and um, you know, that's the kind of stuff that happens. And unfortunately, you know, when you run for something like Supreme Court, you're gonna get some blowback. And I mean, that's one of the highest offices in the land, and you should expect it. You know, anytime you're, you know, even if you're a city assemblyman or you're a mayor, or you know, you're somewhere that you're in power, you should expect people not being happy with you one way or another. And
Well, not. Oh,
you're in the public eye. So there's going to be
Yep.
half the people that are going to be happy with what you say and half the people that are not. So, you know, you're going to have to, you should expect blowback, or you should expect some, you know, animosity toward yourself. You got to have thick skin.
right. I was just going to remark that even in the party, in the movement, you know, we're making waves. We're standing up and saying, no, this isn't right. I don't agree. This is our Constitution, the highest supreme law of the land, and supposed to be the golden rule to hold up any law against.
Right.
You know,
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that. And if you don't mind, I'll go into my story real quick. In case
Sure.
were you done? I mean, I'm just making sure that.
yeah.
Okay.
We're just talking.
Okay.
Come on, bub. Bring it.
So here's what's going on. Here's what's going on here in Alaska. So I'll start from the beginning and work my way back. So back in May, we had a wonderful woman that jumped in to run for assembly. The way it's working now is we've got 6 assembly seats that are going to be up for election or replacement. One guy's termed out, so he can't run again. So that seat's open. We had another assemblyman that ran for a state position, won that, so he's going to be getting replaced. We have another one that's not going to run again. She was not very well liked, so she's not running again. And our chair is not running again, at least as of yet. And then there's 2 other seats, I think, there's like 6 total that are going to be open. So we had a wonderful woman in my district that signed on to run. I supported her when she ran for school board. I supported her at the beginning of this. I would still support her 100% if I didn't have to have jumped in right now. And that her name is Rachel Reese. She's awesome. She's a good personal friend. She's been to my home. We've done videos together. She's been on my other podcast. Just a real personable, smart woman. She was a veteran. She was a helicopter mechanic. She's a smart lady. Anyway, she jumped in May. And then, so she's been running for like 8 months, you know, somewhere around there. So, and she's been fundraising, and she's got the whole thing going on. And like 4 or 5 days ago, an unknown decided to jump in the race. well, she's unknown as far as the politics side of things goes. She is involved politically, but she doesn't have a platform, or at least she's never stated it. She's never um, really threatened to run at all. She's never mentioned that she was going to run at all, other than maybe behind the scenes. And she sounds like she's supported by the GOP. Now, if you have a viable candidate in the Republican Party, why shouldn't the GOP get behind them? Well, come to find out, the GOP is playing politics, and they're acting like they're rhinos. And there's other instances that we've noticed that things just are not adding up. So our president, her name is Ann Brown, and our vice president is Mike Robbins. Mike Robbins works in the city government right now, and he's in the mayor's administration. And I'm not exactly sure what his actual title is, but it sounds like, from what I'm hearing from other people, now this could be hearsay, I don't know, I will say that right now, that he's looking to run for mayor again, and he ran for mayor at the last election. Sounds like he wants to run again. Well, what's going on is the woman who jumped in, her name is Carmela Warfield. And it sounds like, just from everybody I've talked to, and I know a lot of people in Anchorage, the people that know her and everything else, that she just wanted to jump in for money and power. I have not heard one thing positive from this woman anywhere. Her Facebook page is blank. There's hardly anything on it. I've sent her a friend request before I jumped in the race. Never got answered. It's almost like it doesn't exist. Now, I've seen her in events. I've seen her at little things here or there. And she supported candidates that I supported. But there's some other little hinky things too. So she's the president of her community council. And there's another guy that's running that is the vice president of the community council, but they're running on different sides of the aisle. So there's some really, really hinky stuff. So let me finish this up real quick, and then I'll take questions.
Oh, Sky had his hand up first.
I know.
No, I'm making fun of you because you had your hand up. I was like,
I was high-fiving.
So anyway.
Okay. Oh, all right, focus.
So anyway, Carmela jumped in, and I got to thinking, I'm like, you know what? If somebody's jumping in there, now here's the thing: she's got the money, she's got the backing of the GOP. It doesn't take. Here's the thing: money doesn't vote. Money does advertising. Money gets your face out there, but money doesn't vote. Money doesn't show that you're a true conservative. Money doesn't show anything other than you can raise some funds here or there, and the richest people in town are going to be backing you. That's it. Grassroots is where it's at. Blue collar folks is what we need in there. We don't need another millionaire or someone that's sitting comfortably in their little white house up on the hillside.
Right.
We don't need that. They're obviously doing well. Let's get some blue collar people in there that know what it's like to actually work with the citizens and work with people. Now, I'll say this: when I jumped in, the reason I jumped in was because I don't feel that Carmela deserved to have. I don't feel that she had a reason to jump in. I jumped in because, maybe I'm a spoiler. I don't know. But here's the deal. We know that if I stay in the race, I'm going to take 5 to 10%. Easy. Just in my district. So you got 3 candidates in there, me, Rachel, and this Carmela woman. And, I'll be the spoiler of it. And I'll stay in this race all the way up until she drops out. If she drops out, I will do the right thing, and I'll let Rachel run the election like she wants to run it, because I believe in her. I believe in myself, but at the same time, I believe that Rachel both deserves it and is good enough to win the seat here. I'm not a polished politician. We all know that.
She's already a politician.
No, she's not.
She's not.
But she's already had the experience running. She just missed winning a school board seat last year. And, I hate to see that happen again. And so, Rachel's a friend, and I'll never say anything negative about Rachel because she's never done anything negative. It's always been positive. She's always smiling everything she goes. She's a lot like me. She's kind of a no-nonsense person. Now, I guess I want to send this message. And this would be to Mike and and Ann Brown and the GOP. You do the right thing. You're backing this woman, at least from what we've been told. So if you're backing this woman, talk to her and get her to back out. She can run next year. There's another race in 2025 for this district. She's already got her hands full anyway. She's already the community council leader. She's doing other things too. So she's got her hands full. Let Rachel do what Rachel can do, because I believe in her. She's got the endorsements of the mayor. She's got the endorsements of other assembly members. She's been in the race since May. She's got the best chance. The only way that Carmela's got a chance is because of money. It's not because of who she is or what she can do. It's because of money. I'll be 100% honest with you.
It kind of sounds like she's the spoiler.
She is.
Carmela.
And
I
here,
would like one extra large spoiler alert shirt, please.
well, and here's the thing. I mean, why jump in? And that's the one thing that the GOP and the Republican Party and conservatives in general, that's where we get it wrong. We all think we have a better idea, but when we have a viable candidate in there, stay the fuck out of the races. I'm sorry.
Right.
I mean, I wouldn't be in the race if Rachel was running and she was doing it on her own, and I'd be backing her. In fact, before I ever jumped in, I endorsed her. I think she'd be a wonderful person on the assembly. Go ahead, Casey.
So in other areas of the country, the GOP, that's their job, to get in and vet the candidates, and everybody needs to know their role as well. It sounds like the Carmela does have her hands full, and if she was pulled, one head can only wear so many hats. Remember that old hats for sale, and the guy had all the hats stacked up?
Yep.
And then he tried to walk under the tree.
Yeah.
Hats fell off.
Well, here's the thing, and this is this is why a lot of people like me. It's because I don't hold my tongue. I don't think that we should have to hold our tongue. And look at all the crap that the other side has done to us, and they've gotten away with it scot-free. Well, we're going to have to start stepping up, and we're going to have to start doing some of the same crap that they do. Look at Trump. Someone hit Trump. He hit back twice as hard. What's wrong with that? There's nothing.
But the biggest problem with that is the repercussions that come upon us, because the left controls the media. So anything we get say can be 1,000%.
That's racist.
Well, here's the thing.
Construed and becomes racist.
Well, here's the thing.
You could say, I mean,
we all know that they do that, though. So
Right.
we all know that we're all prepared that they're going to do that. So, the people that are, by now everybody should understand what side is doing what. I mean, I don't want someone in there that's going to do illegal crap. I don't want someone in there that's going to do something that's going to be detrimental to the city. And I want someone in there that can speak their mind, do it. It doesn't have to be eloquent, but they can speak their mind, get their point across, and hit back as hard as they're hit. And, if I hate to say this, and I'm probably going to get a lot of hate and slack for this, but if I got to be the bull in the china closet and tear that mother down, then I will do it in a heartbeat, and we'll just rebuild it.
That's exactly.
You want some matches? You want my lighter?
I might need some gasoline.
Yeah, man, for real. I mean, that's the only way we're going to right this ship. We've been walking on eggshells for way, way, way too long, and it's not gotten us anywhere. We always try to play the polite, gentlemanly, patriots, and we try to win the support of the people by helping out in the community, doing disaster relief, feeding the veterans, giving socks to the homeless. And you know what? You know who's the racist? Any single time we show up to do any of these things, these humanitarian jobs that we do as patriots, instantly they're like, white supremacists showed up to feed veterans. White supremacists showed up to give socks to the homeless. See, we need to burn this fucking thing down. And you were talking about the FBI before going after heterosexuality and, somebody making videos and trying to use that for blackmail against somebody. They could get away with it if it's two gay people that'll get away with it. And I just wanted to add that to it before the chips are all against us, from the federal government to the general public, because everybody's brainwashed or everybody's hand appointed by Obama. You know, it's we got a
Right.
big fight ahead of us,
So
so we need to tear this down, like you were saying, and light
the
it.
the days of being complacent are over.
Yeah.
It's over.
Well,
Okay.
we need, here's the thing. We need strong leadership, whether it's myself. Here's the thing. I don't know everything about government. Most blue collar people don't. We usually keep our heads down and we usually go to work and pay our bills
Exactly.
and go get our groceries. And, we want to be left alone. The only time that any blue collar person wants to get into politics is because we've had enough and we're sick of it. And, we want to try and bring some kind of normalcy back to the political spectrum. But, and then we get called racist and homophobic and all this other crap because of that. Here's the thing, most conservatives don't give a shit what you do in your own home. We don't care.
Right.
Go and close your door, do your thing, and don't worry about what we're thinking.
Don't
be
hurt
your
the
own
kids. Yeah.
people. I don't care. And the only thing that I notice is the stuff that happens out on the street. If you're out there and you're, walking around the streets butt naked, that used to be a crime. Now, I mean, they've made it to where it's like a normal thing. And, I don't want my kids to see that kind of stuff. I don't want my neighbors' kids to have to witness that kind of stuff. So I don't know, it's something that our morality has gone downhill so bad that
in California now you're able to go after and touch a kid if they are above the age of 11.
yeah, that's
What?
sick. That's sick.
If you're 11 and up in California now, you can touch a child. 11 and up.
Well, here's the one thing that we got to get out of politics.
That's not right.
Here's one thing we got to get out of politics.
That's when you start burning shit down.
Is we got to get the ego out. The ego is what's killing us. Someone wanting power, someone wanting money.
Right.
That's what is killing us right now is the ego. You get two conservatives in a room, they can agree on something. You get 30 conservatives in the room, and now you've got 15 different arguments. And
Right.
unfortunately, arguing and debating, that's how this nation was formed. But it's the intelligent arguments that matter, not the ones that are just like conspiracy nuts and conspiracy theories and, people attacking one another. That's the stuff that doesn't do us any good. And we keep having a lot of that, going on back and forth. Now, here's the thing. I'm not attacking anybody by me getting in the race. I'm not attacking anyone on this radio show. I'm stating a fact. If we have 3 people in the race, by the time it comes to our election, we're not going to win it. The other side's only got one person in the race. And speaking of that one person, he came by my house yesterday. I got a chance to meet him. He came door knocking at my home. His name is Zach Johnson. Nice guy. Didn't believe half the stuff he said, but either I was targeted and they wanted to come and see who I was and if I was serious about running or what the deal was. But he came door knocking at my house last night. And that's the first time.
Should have given him a sock party.
No, I mean, he can run. That's their right to do so. I mean, but here's the thing.
Inside the threshold.
No one in the 3 or 4 years I've lived in this home, one person other than this guy has come by my house door knocking. One. I've never had any door hangers.
The other one was Jehovah's Witness.
No, it was another candidate. But it was for a state position. And I actually was home whenever that happened too. But no, I mean, this just seemed like it was just kind of out of the blue that he would show up at the house. I invited him in. I mean, we sat on by my front door and we just BS'd. I didn't want to be out in the cold, so like come in. I asked him a couple questions and filled him in. He goes, my name is Zach Johnson and I'm running for assembly. I said, that's funny. So am I. And then he goes, oh, you must be Dustin Sherman. I said, yep, that's me. And I was pretty serious with him the whole time, but he wouldn't look me in the eye the whole time. He was real shifty. He kept looking down, kept looking around, and I'm not attacking him. I'm just telling the truth and what I've seen and what I witnessed. And the thing that I know is if we have 3 candidates in our race at the same time come April, we're not going to win it. And there's only going to be one reason why, and that's because someone jumped in the race that shouldn't be in it.
So he was all shifty and everything. Did you have guns in the house?
Oh, do I have guns in the house?
He was polishing one while he was talking to him. What
That's
are you
what I'm
talking
saying.
about?
He probably saw that. He probably instantly dropped a brick in his pants. He's like, "Oh my god, I got to get out of here." This crazy conservative.
Well, he's probably thinking, man, I can't believe he invited me in the house. You know, I
Right.
mean, here's the thing, and this is something that all of our conservatives need to think about. If we end up in this instance like I'm in right now, I'm hoping that this teaches people a lesson. So if we get a bunch of people that if we get one person that's viable candidate in a race and we get other people jumping in, we need to have 15 or 20 people jumping in. And just to get that one person that doesn't belong there out and then drop. We need to have teams of people. Honestly, we need to have, and that's not what's going on here. I decided to do this on my own. No one talked me into doing it. I've been talking about running for 3 or 4 years. But we need to have a contingency plan for whenever we get something in there that basically, what's the word I want to use? Dilutes the vote. And that's exactly what we've got right now.
That may actually be part of her plan. Like, you know nothing about her social media. You know nothing about her. Now she knows there's going to be 2, maybe 3. But imagine 15 jump in. Then that means the Democrat has all the votes and
Right.
everybody else is dividing everything up. The Democrats are really smart, man. People always say they're stupid and everything they do, part of a well-calculated plan.
Well, keep in mind,
who knows, man?
Well, keep in mind, here in Alaska, it's a little different here. So in Anchorage, keep in mind, we've got less than 300,000 residents. It's a small town. It's a small city. It's not a big one.
Right.
Everybody knows everybody one form or another. If you're involved in politics, I've seen you. I've seen you at events. I've seen you, at different things. And I know what you're about by just who you're supporting. And so if that were to happen and say, she wanted more people to jump in, that's going to be on her and it's going to be ugly. And I'll give you an example. So Suzanne LaFrance is our Republican chair. Or I'm sorry, not Republican chair. She's our Assembly chair. And she ran as a Republican or a conservative in this district. That's who's being replaced by this race I'm in. So she ran as a conservative and she's voted every single vote with the left for every single thing that they've passed.
You
so
gotta
she's
hold
obviously
them
not.
accountable.
So she's not going to ever win on a Republican ticket again, ever, because of the way she's voted. But here's the thing. The GOP up here supported Murkowski. That's enough to let you know exactly how the GOP operates here. And the GOP never got behind the mayor.
Crazy.
Yeah, the GOP never got behind the mayor when he was running his race. They never donated to him or never put no money in the race.
Who was that had Trump's endorsement there?
We had Kelly Shabaka and then we had Sarah Palin.
Okay, I seen very little from Sarah Palin. Did she drop out early?
No.
Oh, I seen very little from Sarah Palin.
Because she was running on name recognition alone. She didn't spend any money.
Probably all she needs, right?
Well,
she's loved in that.
She
state.
got her ass kicked. No, she's not. No, she's not.
Really?
Not anymore. No. So the reason I say she's not is because there's people that like her. She's a lot like I am when it comes to certain things. But the reason people don't like her is because she was a governor whenever McCain chose her for vice president. And when she was the governor and that happened, she had to drop out of being a governor. Well, then that ended up leading to Sean Parnell. And then he lost the next race to a guy that gave us a bill called SB 91. And SB 91 took away all of the, a lot of the felonies, a lot of the, like it went from being a felony to steal a car, Grand Theft Auto, to being a misdemeanor where you just get your hand slapped. You don't even go to jail. So that's what, Palin not sticking around to run for governor again or leaving early cost Alaska a red governor and just really screwed us. Sean Parnell didn't win his first race.
Before they could put the infrastructure underneath to get other conservatives lined up.
Yeah, she just basically deserted the state to run for VP. So there's a lot of Alaskans that's got a really bad taste in their mouth for her. She ran against Nick Begich Nick has got his family's last name, and his family's all liberal, and that didn't go over well either. So we had a kind of a crap set of candidates for the race that ended up going to Mary Paltola. So this was Don Young's seat is what that was for. And the other one, Kelly Shabaka, was running against Lisa Murkowski. And the way that we ended up losing them, now Kelly was ahead, but we were running ranked choice voting. So Murkowski gets a lot of the Democrat vote.
That's coming up in our state, ranked choice voting.
You want to vote that shit out.
About that?
You want to vote that shit out, like now. Yeah. Basically what it's geared toward is putting in there your second and third place candidates. It's not geared for your first place candidate. It's terrible. It's the dumbest system, and it breeds a lot of confusion. It's not that hard to understand it, but for those that don't, it's confusing as shit. So,
it's the Common Core of elections.
Pretty much. That's a good way of putting it. So anyway, with this election that's running right now on the assembly, I've jumped in myself. I'm supporting myself in this thing, and I've got some friends that have helped out and that are behind me and everything. And,
so how can we help you?
Well, biggest thing is, from down where you're at, I'm not really sure that you guys can.
Social media.
like posts and stuff like
definitely.
that.
Yeah.
Definitely can.
Sell them spoiler alert shirts.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, I don't want, here's the thing that I'm trying to avoid is, I'm trying to be sane about this whole thing. And, we need to put good conservatives in there. And the one that was originally in the race first, Rachel, she's a good conservative. She's not a liberal nut job. I've been to her home. I've met her kids, and, she's a great conservative. I'm probably one of the most terrible candidates you could possibly want, but like I said, I'm a bull in a china closet candidate. I'll go in there and I'll tell everybody in there what I think. I'm not the kind of person that's going to go in there and just get along with everybody. And,
shouldn't that be what we have anyways? And there will be personality conflict and different views. And that's where the work happens, is in those discussions. Not saying compromise your stance, but we need blue collar people. We need people to quit being complacent and, take a stand in leadership.
Look what happened with the 20 that were going against McCarthy. Look at McCarthy now. He looks like he's a fucking godsend.
Well, and that's
some of the concessions that he had to make.
Exactly. And that's the thing that we need to do is we need to, candidates that don't have a chance or ones that have jumped in to spoil a race, we can't have them in there, because here's the deal. It only takes 5% of a vote to ruin your chances. And I'm that 10%. And I'll remain in there and I'll absorb that 10% just to keep the one candidate in there get that one candidate out that doesn't belong there. And, Rachel does belong there. I don't want to take any votes from her. And it sucks, but I will say this right now. I'm in it as long as both of the other ones are in it. And the 27th is the date. So if someone hasn't dropped out by the 27th, then their name goes on the ballot. Okay. There should only be one name on that ballot. And that's the person who deserves to be there. Yeah. And, it sucks. I mean, if I end up on the ballot, so be it. But it's only because the other person didn't drop out. If the GOP, it doesn't cost anything. If the GOP is smart, trust me, like I said, I'm willing to burn it down. If the GOP is smart, they will talk to this other woman and tell her, you know what, we can't really afford this right now. We need to get you out, and we can get behind you in the next race.
Dude, they don't sound smart. They back Murkowski. Now, they sound like turncoats, really.
They are.
They sound like they were purposely put in place by the left. Yet DNC funding go in to put all these fucking moles in, and they're calling themselves Republicans.
Now, so here's the thing. I don't think that it's so much like the left doing this. I think that it's become a thing where
have stupid people.
That's
too much
one.
Cold weather.
No, it's not. it's not that. And here's the thing. One of the guys in there, Mike Robbins. I like the guy. I mean, he's a nice guy. He's a business owner up here and everything else. But here's the thing. What makes the world go round? It's the money. And if the money's there and, there's money flowing in, that greed, I hate to say it, man, but that greed is exactly the reason people get where they're at. And instead of doing the right thing, they're more in it about filling their pockets. And I think that's more likely what the reasoning is behind, Carmella being in this race. And, I don't think that she's a bad person. I think that this whole choice about jumping in when we already had a viable candidate is an ego-driven mess. I think that, like I said, I'll say what I got to say. I mean, I may be hated for this, and I don't really care. I mean, I got big shoulders. I can take the brunt of it, but I'm not a perfect candidate. Never claimed to be, but at the same time, we need someone in that's going to tell the damn truth. Instead of all the innuendos, instead of all the backstabbing bullshit in the back doors, we need someone that can just go out there and just slay them by telling the damn truth and being rough about it. Not just pull the fucking Band-Aid.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be great if life was like that? I'd rather know what
Well, you can either like me or hate me.
Know what you're thinking.
You can either like me or hate. You can either like me or hate me. But at least when I'm done talking to you, I'll know.
Right.
I don't have to wonder.
Right.
So, anyway, that's the whole thing here in Alaska. It's getting interesting. Like I said, I've already had one candidate come by my house to door knock. I've had a lot of phone calls.
He was cleaning his gun the whole time. Hey, come out in the garage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me show you something.
He was coming to see how many guns you have, just in case he needs to come after you, because
he's gonna have to bring a lot.
Democrats are coming for your guns.
Yeah, that's. Oh yeah, is that in Illinois that they're making them register?
Yeah, they're
asking. They're telling people. They're not asking.
Well,
people to register everything.
Well, I'll tell you right now.
He did that in New York, and I said, "Fuck you."
Good luck
with New York City, and I had everything that nobody knew shit about. I could have been a felon. I could have been in jail for 10 years. Fuck them. Register nothing.
Well, here's the thing. I lived in Illinois. I lived in.
Working.
Huh?
It could go. Keep going.
I lived in Illinois for
nothing.
For 6 months or so. I lived in Champaign, Illinois, which is, in between Chicago and the southern border. Anyway, so in Champaign, it's all farm country. There's no city. It's just, it's a college town. And I tell you right now, dude, driving up and down the highway, there's pro gun signs everywhere there. So good luck getting everybody to register their firearms. In fact, the guy I owned kept all his guns in his pro shop in the bowling center there. And it was like a 800-pound safe, and there was probably 30 guns stored in the damn thing. So good luck with that. I mean, the people there understand the crime is rampant, and they're going to do what they got to do to protect themselves.
What about this? Them banning Biden gas stoves? Are you kidding me? This kitchen got way hot and it's small now. So small.
Well. We don't. Luckily, I don't have to worry about that crap. We've got electric, and here's the thing: if they ban the stoves, just switch to propane. If they're going to cut your gas off, just switch to propane.
His jurisdiction. That is not his role
the
as
problem
president.
Is, who the fuck has the money to go to revert to change over to fucking electric to propane? Fuck that. We can't even buy eggs.
Well, here's the thing.
We can't fucking buy eggs right now, for crying out loud.
Yeah, we didn't. We had 0 eggs at Costco this morning when we went there. But here's the thing. What's the government been doing since Biden got in there? They've been printing money. They've been printing money to send to Ukraine. They've been printing money to do this, that, the other. They're devaluing the dollar every chance they get. So what's to say that they decided they got to get rid of a stove? They give out some kind of huge rebate, or they basically send you a damn check. Go to Lowe's and spend $1,200 on a new stove. People will do it.
We're not getting rid of our stoves, okay? Let me kiss my ass.
Well, the next thing they're going to do, they're going to ask you to get rid of your furnace. Good luck with that. Right. Most of our furnaces are gas.
Right. No,
So
but that's what they're doing. It's all about control, each and every step they take. You know why? Because they got away with it during COVID. COVID was the biggest manipulation. It was a test of the American people. How many people got in line and got the jab? Half this country. You know what? Now they're going to take it to
Now,
the next level. What
yeah.
else can we get away with? What else can we
Well,
do?
and let's talk about that just for a minute. You took the jab to keep your job, to travel across the country or go out of country. You
Get
got
an
the jab,
ID.
and oh yeah, let's get your face on this database.
Yeah.
Not to mention all the tests that came up missing. I want to know what happened to them because you have to print the label out. One's not one box going here, another box going there. They're putting everything on these databases and it's not even regulated. It's some
Yeah.
third party company, you know, not even secure data.
Well, I tell you what, you drive around nowadays, especially in liberal states, because I drive through New Jersey and New York to get my kid in New York City every other weekend. As soon as I leave Pennsylvania on the roads, it's 10% Tesla.
yeah,
You have all these electrical vehicles because the government said you have to do it. And now, guess what? Because Elon Musk is suddenly, against the Democrat machine. You have all these liberals that are on losing their minds, and you see all this bad publicity about Teslas. They're unreliable. They're this. They're that. But my whole point is this: the government is pushing and pushing, and people ran out to get their Teslas because gas was going to be going bye bye. And everything the government says, the morons and the sheep, they do right away because they got no balls. And that's because there's not enough manly men left in this country anymore. Half the men, half the boys in this country, for fuck's sake. You see the way they dress? Holy shit. Used to wipe the floors with guys like that in school when I was growing up. Not that I did that for no reason, but
right.
they were typically the punks. They were the ones that were fucking always running their mouth the most and trying to get attention, and that's society today.
No, that was the preppies
Well,
and the
I think
skaters.
they're pumping the food full of hormones, plastic, inoculating the food, antibiotics, all that plays a role. You know, the wheat of our generation is different from 100 years ago, you know, and now all these additives. I have a girlfriend from the British Isles, and we talk about this. She said, Casey, I went into the store and got like baking powder or baking soda, and it said aluminum free. I said, yeah, they put that in everything. It causes plaque on your brain. It causes Parkinson's and dementia. Uh, and she said, we don't have that in our country. The FDA's got to go.
The
Right.
question for you, not to sound racist now, is she black?
Well,
Not to sound racist. No.
when
The Virgin Islands.
when are they going to come up with when are they going to fix this egg shortage? Right? Are we going to be eating fake eggs before you know it? It's like this the freaking stove thing's stupid. They can't keep the electric grid going with the amount of Teslas and electric cars that they have now, but yet they want us to go to electric or electric stoves. The next thing will be electric furnaces. Right. Our electric grid cannot support it. And Alaska, I'll tell you right now, in Alaska, what's one of the worst things that you can do to a battery? Leave it out in the cold. And we've had people that have bought Teslas up here, and we don't have that many charging stations here in Alaska. So, you can only go so far. If you stay in the city of Anchorage, you're okay. But if you get outside of the city, good luck finding a charging station somewhere.
Right.
Unless you got like a built-in generator somewhere or something.
Also, too, okay, thinking about these electric cars, you have to charge them, and then they only go so far on one charge, and that's another way of controlling the people. Yeah. Then it's another 15 hours for it to charge. Then it's taken me 2 weeks to drive a 3-day drive.
Yeah.
No.
Well, you
And
know,
what am I supposed to do? You know, up here in the cold, like you said, in Alaska, it zaps the batteries.
yeah.
They don't have the pulling power. Hook a gooseneck trailer up to something electric, please. Let's see how it pulls.
Well, you know, it is what it is. But all right. So we've been on for about an hour. You guys got anything else you want to talk about, or we want to go ahead and call it good for the night?
I just want to say fuck Joe Biden and fuck the FBI, and that's all I got to say.
All right.
Right. I just want to peace out and ask that everybody, you know, the days of being complacent and being quiet are done. They want to their
They are.
guns. They want to take the stove out of the kitchen, you know, and show up with. They don't even know the COVID vaccination was never under clinical trials. Now they're finding out what it's doing to people, and stand up for what you believe in. You know, I would like to commend Dustin for taking a
Amen.
campaigning
Good job, bro.
into a leadership role in his community. Act local, think global. It's everywhere, and I mean you. I'm talking to all y'all.
Well,
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
I want to add to the FBI. There are some good guys in the FBI. There are some good guys in the outfit agency. I knew people that worked in the outfit agency, but they are so fucking far and few. They are the enemy. They're part of the reason why we are where we are. They won't investigate anything the left does. Only people they go after are patriots, constitution, and conservatives in this country. All I
Yeah.
gotta say.
All right. Well, guys, I appreciate you both.
Thanks, brother.
It is roughly, it's got to be 9 o'clock your time now, Scott, right?
Yep.
So it's 5 o'clock my time here in Alaska.
Bedtime.
Seven my
Anybody
time.
got any questions about the reason I'm in running the race? Don't hesitate to reach out. I'll tell you.
Oh.
I'll fill you in. Go ahead, Casey.
Also, I would just like to real quick add, if anybody across the country wants to tune in and have a powwow with us, you know, get a hold of any one of three of us.
Yep.
So we'd like to hear your story.
We're always looking for special guests, so make sure you reach out to us and we can get you on. And we're trying to do this every Sunday, you know, barring any other any other things that happen in our lives.
Illnesses.
Yeah. So, you know, look forward to seeing everybody out there, and
You're sick.
you know, look at yourself in it. Here's what I want everyone to do: go and look yourself in the mirror, and ask yourself, are you doing everything that you can to turn this country around? If your answer is no, then you need to start kicking some things in the ass and getting gear, because we need to get this country and the state and everything else back in shape so that we can you know, have a life, you know, that our kids would be proud of. So, all right, folks, we're going to sign off, but this is Dustin Sherman, Casey Pate, and Scott Seddon, and we will catch you all next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.
But guys, God bless America.